Scary. I mean, one second you think like you're all good and you're under something, a little safety, and next thing you know, like there's a car trapped underneath and I'm underneath it as well.
It was horrible. We'll remember this literally forever. And we hear like a and then this big giant pole fell on the car, smushed us in, and then the wires are tapping the car.
So she felt her trailer lift all the way up and then come down and then roll.
The wind came through, it literally felt like it was a haboob.
Arizona's monsoon comes sweeping in with little warning, unleashing pounding rainfall, intense lightning, and tall dust storms.
Difficult to predict, the monsoon is a season of high temperature, high wind, and high moisture.
We're here to make sure you don't get caught off guard by Mother Nature. So what does this year look like? Take a look. Will this monsoon be blockbuster or bust? Well, look at this. The Climate Prediction Center is pointing to nearly a 60% chance it'll be hotter than normal in Phoenix and across Arizona, and leaning a bit more below average rain-wise for most of the state. Average rainfall around Arizona ranges from about 2 inches in the deserts to as much as 16 inches in the mountains. No guarantees here, but come on and follow me over to the green screen, and I'll show you exactly what we're looking for in a classic monsoon setup. We need high pressure to slide over to its sweet spot in the Four Corners region. Flow around this giant H yanks up moisture from the south. We also take advantage of our infamously hot summer temperatures to add instability and energy in our atmosphere. We link it up with that moisture, sparks fly, and voila, we get storms. Even though the stars don't align exactly at the same time each year, we still slate the season as June 15 through the end of September.
On a scale of 1 to 10,
It's a great day for the pool today.
how bad can a monsoon get?
3s on the monsoon meter just means spotty activity.
For over a decade, only 12 News has the monsoon meter.
The East Valley is going to get a 5 on that monsoon meter, which means the heightened risk for flash flooding.
One number tells all.
We have an 8 on the monsoon meter. Large hail and flash flooding is likely.
The 12 News monsoon meter, exclusively on 12 News.
Let's take a closer look at exactly how the monsoon meter works, because this is something you will see throughout the day parts on 12 News and all of our weathercasts. It is a scale from 0 to 10, 0 being the lowest on the scale, and that indicates dry weather. A 10 is increasing coverage of showers and thunderstorms and increasing severity. When we have 0s and 1s on the monsoon meter, that is a 10% chance for a shower or storm or less, meaning most folks are going to stay dry on those days and not anticipating any severe weather when you have those very low numbers on the monsoon meter. A 2 and a 3 indicating under a 30% chance. You may see some small hail within some of those thunderstorms. We're talking pea to marble size hail. Wind gusts could be strong, but generally under 50 miles per hour, which is below severe thunderstorm warning criteria. We could see some blowing dust and heavy localized downpours, but the storms on a 2 or 3 day, not nearly as widespread as what we would see when the numbers are higher on the monsoon meter. This is an example of a locally heavy downpour during monsoon 2021 in Casa Grande. So you still could see some very wet weather, but minimal severe weather at that point. Once you start getting to a 4 and a 5, this is about 50% coverage on the radar. Large hail, at this point you could see severe winds above 58 miles per hour, dust storms, and even flooding. And when we talk about flooding, this could be flooding from a wash that rises up quickly, flooding within burn scars, or just a lot of rain in a short period of time. By the time you get up to a 6 and 7 on the monsoon meter, 70% chance for showers and storms. Large hail, that means nickel to quarter size hail, which is considered severe. Severe winds, dust storm, flash flooding. This is an example of the damage that we could see on a day where we are at a 6 and 7 on the monsoon meter. Trees could be down, power lines down. Once we get to an 8 and 9, severe storms are likely, and then we add microburst and tornado to the list. This was the storm of the century back in 2014. You can see over 3 inches of rain fell across parts of the East Valley. But when we start seeing 10s on the monsoon meter, this means life-threatening storms are possible. So stay with 12 News all summer long. We will be keeping you ahead of the storm with our exclusive monsoon meter. Monsoon lightning may be beautiful, but it can be dangerous too. Lightning happens with all thunderstorms, so when thunder roars, go indoors. Stay away from trees, towers, or utility poles, and keep in mind, lightning can strike up to 15 miles away from rainfall. As we've been explaining, when it comes to monsoon, our weather can change in a second, especially when a microburst hits.
This type of storm hazard can be devastating. Here's a closer look at a microburst. Once our wet monsoon season gets going, a hot afternoon can change quickly. With strong thunderstorms and severe weather. Oh my God! And even microbursts. So how do microbursts work? To simplify the workings of a thunderstorm, an updraft pulls moisture and heat into the storm, which it uses as energy, while colder air, rain, and hail exit the storm in and around the downdraft. Strong updrafts can hold a lot of rain and hail high inside a thunderstorm. But as it weakens and that updraft can no longer hold up the raindrops and hail, it comes crashing down as a microburst. These incredibly dangerous winds rush toward the ground, reaching speeds in excess of 100 miles an hour, spreading out in all directions as it hits the ground and can last several minutes. These winds can knock trees to the ground, take down power lines, cause extensive damage to homes and buildings as well as cars, plus can create blinding rain that literally blows sideways. Microbursts are difficult to predict, so if there's a severe thunderstorm warning, it's best to assume a microburst could happen. The best course of action is to get indoors and stay away from windows until the warning expires.
Now to northern Arizona, the high country can really get hit by monsoon rains, causing dangerous flooding along burn scars. Our Colleen Sikora went to Flagstaff to look at what's being done to try and prevent the heavy damage.
It's a nightmare.
Filled up everywhere.
There's no stopping Mother Nature.
And Mother Nature brought rain.
First was the pipeline fire. Had to worry about it jumping the mountain. Then now it's this thing where we have to worry about it coming to our doorstep.
On top of the pipeline fire burn scar near Flagstaff.
Last year we had 45 major flood events.
And down into neighborhoods.
I had it sandbagged, I thought good enough, but there's nothing good enough for this kind of water.
And into some homes.
Back through here, so came in from the fence. There's actually rock under there somewhere.
Now, $30 million already being spent on projects to try and prevent these kinds of scenes.
Post-wildfire, we are seeing anywhere from 10 to 26 times the increase in floodwater. So to accommodate that amount of water, you have to significantly upsize the infrastructure.
Lucinda Andriani is the Flood Control District Administrator for Coconino County.
For example, in the Wupaki Trails corridor, the channel that we constructed post the Schultz fire back in 2013 was designed to 140 cubic feet per second. We are now increasing the size of that channel to upwards of about 1,100 cubic feet per second.
The idea behind these projects is to do a couple of different things. First, watershed restoration up in this forest area to help fan out the water, slow it down, and help it drop its debris before it heads downstream. And when it gets down here, the idea is to control and move the water as quickly as possible through the neighborhood through a channel like this.
The city of Flagstaff also increasing infrastructure to handle the rain and flooding.
All of our models show that everything we've done will create a benefit.
Scott Overton with the city of Flagstaff saying the infrastructure can't be built to every kind of storm.
Mother Nature's undefeated. As much engineering and as much work as we've done, I mean, a very, very large storm or an unusually large area storm really doesn't help our situation.
But knowing what came last year, county and city officials encouraging sandbags stay in place.
Unfortunately, my expectation is that we may see bigger rainfall events this year.
For whatever Mother Nature brings over the peaks. Colleen Sikora, 12 News.
Coming up, expert advice on how to prep your home and your AC before it becomes an emergency. Now let's talk dust. Those big brown clouds are a dirty and dangerous threat of monsoon. A dust storm is a meteorological phenomenon where a gust front or downdraft winds from a thunderstorm launch sand, dust, and dirt as high as 5,000 feet in the air. This intimidating wall of dust can move up to 60 miles an hour, taking visibility from good to zero in just seconds. Dust storms are common in dry areas with fewer plants, which means our desert is a perfect place for you to see one, especially during monsoon. And a new report shows dust storms are far deadlier than we thought.
William Pitts combs through the numbers and breaks down the details.
Dust storms. They're a fact of Arizona monsoon life. Walls of dust tearing through the desert, swallowing entire cities, dropping visibility to almost nothing. Gritty, dirty, and dangerous. Experts looked at data from 2007 to 2017 and at first came up with 10 deaths, or one a year.
That's just not add up to what we know.
Daniel Tong co-wrote the paper that took a second look at the numbers and found they were way off.
We found that dust storms killed 20 times more people than previously known.
The real number is 232 people in 10 years. It happens in places like I-10, where there were so many crashes, ADOT installed a dust storm warning system.
This is all off-the-shelf technology, but to our knowledge, nobody else has ever combined all the elements into this system.
It's been installed for 3 years, and ADOT says it can tell that drivers are noticing. The system shows drivers slowing down when it activates, and it activates kind of a lot.
We've had between about 10 and 18 activations per year, with most of those occurring during the monsoon.
Dust storms have always been a thing, but as we increase our population, we have more folks that are at risk.
State climatologist Erin Ann Saffel says you can blame the drought for those dust storms. The drier dirt is, the easier it is for wind to pick it up.
You have to have fast enough winds. And unfortunately, here in the desert area where we have dry, loose materials, croplands, we can loft at lower kinds of wind speeds. So it doesn't take much. It's part of our climate system. And so really, hopefully, keeping everyone aware, understanding what's going on around them really is helpful.
William Pitts, 12 News.
To make sure our homes are better prepared for monsoon storms, joining me now is Tim Herring with Ace Home Services. Tim, thank you so much for being here with us today.
Of course.
What exactly do we got right here? This is an AC unit or a rooftop unit?
It is, yep, exactly right. So this is an all-in-one, it's what we call a package unit, which would normally go on your roof. And it's got the outdoor condenser section with all the indoor all-in-one. So this is a full AC and heat unit, yep.
What do we need to do in order to make sure our AC units are ready for monsoon storms?
So monsoon storms come with a lot, right? You've got dust, you've got rain, you've got electricity, and usually high winds. So the first thing that I look at as a technician, I've done this for about 17 years, all these little screws sometimes seem like there's too many. They're really important. I've seen panels like this in pools, in your backyard, in somebody else's backyard in the street. So this is what we're trying to protect, is all the electronics, all the stuff that you want to keep inside. So having a technician come out early, check all the screws, make sure all the panels are secured, that'd be my number one. Number two, we don't normally think about because we figure, well, we live in a desert and it's dirty. But these areas here, if you can kind of get in here, these are the coils. And so you've got two sets of coils, but these ones are exposed to the outdoors. So we usually think a little bit of dust and dirt won't hurt. Well, it does. We don't want any dust and dirt on this because it inhibits the heat transfer. So keeping that clean is the best thing. And if you start with a clean surface, it will collect less dirt. So before the monsoon and dust storms come, have somebody out, have it checked out, and if it needs to be clean, clean it.
For more information and additional tips and tricks on how your home can be monsoon ready, visit our website, 12news.com. I'm meteorologist Lauren Rainson.
And don't forget about protecting your own health. Our extreme weather can really take a toll. You're watching the 12 News Monsoon Special.
As you just saw, when it comes to the monsoon, it's important for us to protect our homes.
But what about our own bodies? These storms can really take a toll, especially when it comes to the extreme heat. Extreme heat shows up before big midsummer storms. When it comes to the monsoon, our sizzling temps can be overlooked compared to dust storms and flooding. But don't be fooled. Heat is the #1 weather-related killer in Arizona.
About 24 people died in the year 2000 of heat-related illness. About a third of them are homeless, and many of them have no air conditioning. Okay, so those are very, very big risk factors.
Valleywise Medical Center sees several patients each year with a core body temperature of 108 degrees.
But your brain does not like being at 108 too long, okay? In general, healthy person, maybe 5-10 minutes could tolerate it. But as you get older and have more comorbidities or more medical problems, 4 or 5 minutes at 108, you'll probably have permanent brain damage.
Drinking water is key during the hot summer months.
16 ounces of water at least every hour, okay? And that's just to maintain and keep up.
Contact burns is another danger during periods of extreme heat.
If you're barefoot and you walk across the street, even on a day like this, okay, 5 steps you would have a contact burn. So it is pretty easy, pretty quick, a couple seconds for a little kid to walk across.
And it's not just the heat you need to watch out for.
When the wind is blowing, people have asthmatic issues or bronchitic issues or sinusitis that they're going to get worse or so or activated when the wind blows a lot.
When the monsoon storms come sweeping in, your yard can take quite a hit. Here's a couple of ways to protect your trees and plants from Mother Nature.
The first thing you ever want to do is make sure you prune your tree going into monsoon. So see all those pockets that are in the tree right now? What happens is it allows for the winds to go through them. The next thing would probably be staking, so when we're talking about that, we really don't have to use a tree as old as this, but staking your tree and using those when your tree first gets installed.
What exactly do you mean by staking?
It's basically 2 lodge poles, or what you could be like a duckbill system that kind of wraps around your tree with hose end and wire. It holds the tree in place as it's learning its life. The bigger trunk of a tree, the older it is, you won't have to stake it as much, right? So again, 2 lodge poles down the side. You're gonna have hose end pieces where this green wire is gonna go through so it doesn't harm it. You're gonna wrap these tree trunk with the wire in it around your tree branches so it doesn't harm anything. This is soft against the trunk, and then that wire goes straight to the poles and gets tied to the poles to hold them steady and hold it sturdy. After the monsoon season or its first monsoon season, you should, if watering properly and trimming properly, be able to take that stake out.
Thank you, Lauren. Getting caught behind the wheel during a dust storm can be terrifying. So what should you do? Coming up, we have the answers.
Hot, dry summers are brutal on windshield wipers. Be sure to replace them before the monsoon hits and check the forecast before traveling. We've all seen the stunning photos and videos of dust storms.
From Sky 12, it's amazing, but on the ground, it's terrifying.
Here's Stella Sun with a look at what you can do if you find yourself driving in the middle of a dust storm.
It's all-consuming.
You can't see what's in front of you, behind you, or on the sides of you.
It can happen instantly, like flipping a switch.
Picture driving with your eyes closed. Driving through a dust storm is very dangerous and very scary.
For Trooper Devin Brandt, who spends most of his days keeping our roads safe, the summer months bring another set of challenges. During Arizona's monsoon season, scenes like this can consume entire neighborhoods, streets, and portions of highways. When a monsoon thunderstorm collapses, it creates strong outflow winds. It can be powerful enough to cause gust fronts to form, kicking up huge plumes of dust into the atmosphere, creating a dust storm. On radar, outflow winds look like this.
A similar concept to how outflow winds work is like dropping a water balloon. From way up high, as you drop the balloon and hits the ground, the water pushes up and out.
If you're on the road and a dust storm creeps in,
you should immediately pull over to the side of the road as far as you can off the highway. Turn off all your emergency flasher lights, your headlights, taillights.
Turning off your lights. Putting your car in park and taking your foot off the brake can alert other motorists you're not driving. Those behind you could follow your taillights and rear end your car. Brandt says you should stay buckled and wait inside your car for the dust storm to pass. It can last a few minutes to an hour at most. These same rules apply if a monsoon thunderstorm dumps heavy rain while on the road.
Important way for drivers to be prepared during these thunderstorms and dust storms is make sure that your emergency alerts on your iPhone or Android are turned on.
As we speed into monsoon season, remember, pull aside, stay alive. Stella Sun, 12 News.
Thank you for joining us for this year's 12 News Monsoon Special. As you can see, the monsoon can be a stunning but deadly force.
It's our goal to keep you and your family safe from any wild weather that may erupt. So stay on top of approaching storms by following us on 12 News, 12news.com, and on all of our social media channels.